what it means to be saved, what it means to know you are for certain going to heaven when you die. And I know many people who've gone to church their entire lives and still aren't sure of that. They have doubts about their salvation. They have doubts about, am I really going to get in? Is God going to love me? Is he going to let me into his heaven? I don't ever want you to have any doubt again about whether you're going to heaven or not. I want you, when you finish this message, to be absolutely certain, confident, with zero doubts, zero fears, zero anxieties, that if you were to die tonight or in the next hour, you would go straight into the presence of God. What you must know in order to be saved. So let's read the text. Luke chapter 23, verses 39 to 43. One of the criminals hanging beside Jesus hurled insults at him. So you're the Messiah, are you? Prove it. Prove it by saving yourself and save us too while you're at it. But the other criminal on the other side of Jesus rebuked him, the criminal who just said that, said, don't you fear God even when you're dying? We deserve to die for our evil deeds. But this man has not done anything wrong. And then he looks at Jesus and he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus replied, I assure you, today you'll be with me in paradise. I must know that only God's grace can save me. I must know that only God's grace can save me. I'm never going to do it on my own effort. Now we see this in verse 42. In verse 42 it says, then he said, the thief on the cross, then he said, Jesus, remember me. Now, what is implied when this guy looks at Jesus, and he's sweating and he's dying, and he says, remember me when you come into your kingdom in heaven? Well, one thing we know, he knows that he can't save himself. He can't get off the cross. He can't go do a bunch of charity work. He can't try to atone for his own sins. He can't make up for all the bad things he's done wrong. There's no way he can repay the people or God or anybody else. He's hanging on the cross. He's in his final moments. He knows he can't save himself. He knows he's made a mess of his life. This guy has wasted his life. He's got nothing to offer God. Zero. Zip. We know that he doesn't try to make excuses. And hanging there on the cross, he doesn't say, now Jesus, I'm a lot better than some people, really. I'm really a lot better than that person over there. He doesn't beg, he doesn't bribe, he doesn't bargain, he doesn't barter with God. He doesn't compare, I was better than somebody. He doesn't try to make excuses for his sins. He is hanging on the cross with no hope. You don't have any either. Without Jesus, you have no hope of getting into heaven. And so while he's hanging on the cross, in the final moments of his life, he throws himself on the grace of God, the mercy of God. And he just says two words, remember me. This guy does not use any theological terms. He doesn't even say, I repent. It's not there. He doesn't say, I believe. It's not there. He doesn't say, I trust. He doesn't say, I receive you into my life. He just says, remember me. And Jesus looks at him and says, I got it. It's good enough. You're in. I'll see you in heaven. That, of all cases, proves it's not about words. This guy was in no sense a theologian. And Jesus' prayer may have not the sinner's prayer here may have not satisfied the theologians, but it satisfied Jesus. And if it satisfies Jesus, that's good enough, okay? So he only says two words, remember me, remember me. That's all he said. Here is the point I'm trying to make. It's not the words you say that matter. It's the direction of your heart.